is off, we would like to kind of get the adrenaline rolling, so we're going to sing you a song.
Light the candles on the mantelpiece, put another log on the fire, just like we did last year at Christmas Eve. We'll have a Christmas country style. We'll have a Christmas country style. You can hear us singing for country mile. So take your coat off and stay a little while. We'll have a Christmas country style.
Row and 3 in this row. Okay.
We'll pop some popcorn and we'll trim the tree. Build a snowman in the yard. And find some mistletoe for you and me. You can bet it won't be very hard. We'll have a Christmas country style. We can hear us singing for a country mile. So take your coat off and stay a little while. We'll have a Christmas country style. We'll have a Christmas country style. You can hear us singing for a country mile. So take your coat off and stay a little while. We'll have a Christmas country style. We'll have a Christmas country style.
Enjoy the show.
Cratchit,
Yes, Mr. Scrooge?
I predict it may become necessary for you to part my service if you continue to find a reason to waste my coat.
Yes, Mr. Scrooge. Sorry, Mr. Scrooge. Wherefore the clerk donned his scarf, and tried to warm himself about the candle, but not being a man of keen imagination, he failed.
Merry Christmas, Bob Cratchit.
Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Merry Christmas, Uncle, and God save you.
Bah, humbug!
Christmas a humbug? Uncle, you don't mean that, I'm sure.
I do. What right have you to be married? You're Corina.
Well, what right do you have to be so dismal? You're rich enough.
Bah, humbug!
Don't be angry, Uncle.
What else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this? Merry Christmas. Out upon Merry Christmas. What's Christmas to you but a time for paying bills? Without money, a year older, and not a penny richer. Why, if I could work my will, every idiot that went around with Merry Christmas on his lips would be boiling his own pudding with a sprig of holly through his heart.
Uncle!
Nephew, you keep your Christmas your way and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it, but you don't keep it.
Then let me leave it alone. Little good it's ever done you, or little good it'll ever do you.
There are many things of which I have derived good, by which I have not profited. Christmas among the rest of them. I see Christmas time as a good time where men and women seem by one consent to open their shut-up hearts freely and think of those below them as if they were fellow passengers to the grave. Therefore, Uncle, although it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good and will do me good. And I say God bless it.
Well said, sir.
One more sound out of you, Cratchit, you'll keep your Christmas by finding a new situation. Well, you're quite the powerful speaker, sir. Wonder you don't go into Parliament.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow.
I'll see you in hell first.
Why?
Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because he fell in love. Be on your way.
Nay, Uncle. You never found it a reason to see me before I was married. Why make it a reason now?
Good afternoon.
I want nothing from you. Ask nothing of you. Why cannot we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry to see you so resolute, but I've made my trial and homage to Christmas, and I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last. So, Merry Christmas, Uncle!
Bah!
And a Happy New Year!
Bah!
I tried to stop them, sir.
Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Oh, Mr. Marley's been dead these 7 years. Actually, Mr. Marley passed away 7 years ago this very night.
but we have no doubt his liberality is well represented in his surviving partner.
At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, we find it more than usually desirable we make some slight provision for the poor and destitute, who suffer greatly at the present time. Many thousands are in want of common comforts, hundreds of thousands in want of common necessaries, sir.
Are there no prison?
Oh, plenty of prisons, plenty.
And the union workhouses are still in operation?
Well, of course they are, sir, but I wish I could say that they were not.
And the treadmill and the pole are still in fine vigor?
Both very busy, sir.
Oh, I thought from what you said something had happened to stop them in their useful course. I'm glad to hear it.
A few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of war. We choose this time, above all others, when want is keenly felt. What? Oh, yes. What shall we put you down for?
You may put me down for nothing.
You wish to remain anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. Since you asked me what I wish, gentlemen, that is my answer. I don't make merry at Christmas myself. Mr. Marley never did. I cannot afford to keep idle people merry. What? If those people are that bad off, they can go there.
But, sir, many can't go there. Many would rather die than go there.
If they'd rather die than go there, let them do it. Decrease the surplus population. Besides, it's none of my business.
But, sir, you can make it your business.
It's enough for a man to take care of his own business without messing in other people's business. My business occupies me constantly. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Sir, it's only a small...
Good afternoon!
Scrooge resumed his labours with a much higher opinion of himself, and in a far more facetious temper than was usual even for him. Outside, the fog and the darkness thickened, so much so that the ancient tower of an old church, whose gruff old bell peered slyly down at Scrooge out of a Gothic window in the wall, grew invisible. It struck its hours and quarters in the clouds, and soon the time of closing up the counting house had arrived.
Catch it! It's time. Well, out with it. What are you standing there for?
Tomorrow is Christmas Day, sir.
I know. You want the whole day off, I suppose.
If it's quite convenient.
Well, it's not convenient, and it's not hardly fair. If I were to withhold half a crown from your wages, you'd think yourself ill-used. I'll be found. You don't think me ill-used when I pay a whole day's wages for no work, now do you?
It's only one day a year, sir. 1 day a year.
Poor excuse to pick a man's pocket every 25th of December. Well, I suppose you must have it. Be back here all the earlier next morning. Out of my way! You people move aside. You have nothing better to do to stand in the middle of the street blocking a man's progress. Move aside! Move aside!
Scrooge took his melancholy dinner at his usual melancholy tavern, and having read all the newspapers, beguiled the rest of the evening with his banker's books. Then he went home to bed. Scrooge lived in chambers that once belonged to his deceased partner, Jacob Marley. It was a gloomy suite of rooms in a lowering pile of the building up beyond. A yard this night that was so dark that even Scrooge, who knew its every stone, was fain to grope about with his hands. Now it should be noted, there was nothing particular about the knocker on the door, except that it was rather large. And it should be borne in mind that Scrooge had not paid a single thought to his 7 years deceased Jacob, Marley's partner, since earlier that afternoon. And yet, when Scrooge put the key to the lock, he saw in that knocker, without it undergoing any process of change, not a knocker, but the face of Jacob Marley.
Humbug! Humbug!
Closing of the door resounded through the house like thunder. Up the stairs Scrooge went, not caring a button for the darkness. Darkness is cheap, and Scrooge likes cheap. Went from room to room to be sure that all was as it should be, for he had just enough recollection of that face in the knocker to desire to do so. The sitting room, the slumber room, the dining room, all were as they should be. Nobody under the bed, nobody behind the sofa, nobody under the table, nobody in the closet. Feeling quite satisfied, he closed the door and locked himself in, which was not his usual custom. But feeling safe and secure from surprise, with his nightgown, his cap and his slippers, he sat before the fire to take his evening brew.
What do you want of me?
Much!
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Who was you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Can you sit down?
I can.
Do it then.
You don't believe in me?
I know.
Why doubt your own senses?
Because a little thing affects them. A bit of indigestion. Why, you might be a bit of undigested beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a bit of underdone potato. There's more of gravy than gravy in you, whatever you are. Do you see this toothpick?
I do,
You're not looking at it.
but I see it, notwithstanding.
All I need to do is swallow this toothpick and for the rest of my days be hounded by a bevy of goblins. Humbug, I tell you, humbug! Oh, mercy, heaven, dreadful apparitions, why do you come to me?
O man of worldly mind, do you believe in me or not?
I do, I must, but why do spirits walk the earth and why do you trouble me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him walk abroad among his fellow men and travel far and wide. And if that spirit goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death.
You're fettered, tell me why.
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it, link by link, and yard by yard. I made it of my own free will, and of my own free will I wore it. Is its pattern strange to you? Or would you know the length and weight of the strong coil you bear yourself? It was as long, as heavy, as these 7 Christmas Eves ago, Ebenezer. You have labored on it since. It is a ponderous chain.
Jacob Marley, speak some comfort to me, I pray.
I have none to give. It comes from other regions, Ebenezer, and is conveyed by other ministers to other kinds of men.
You travel fast.
On the wings of the wind.
You must have covered a great deal of ground in the 7 years then, Jacob.
Oh, captive, bound in double iron, not to know that no space of regret can make amends for one's life's opportunities misused. Yet, such was I. Oh, such was I!
But you were always such a good man of business, Jacob.
Business?
Yeah.
Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Mercy, charity, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a small drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business. And at this time of the rolling year, I suffer most. Hear me. My time is nearly gone.
I will, Jacob. Don't be hard on me. Don't be flowery, I pray.
I am here tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate, Ebenezer. A chance and hope of procurement.
You're always a good friend to me, Jacob. Thank you.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the hope and the chance that you mentioned?
It is?
I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tomorrow night when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I get them all at once and get it over with?
Expect the second upon the next night at the same hour. Expect the third upon the next night when the chimes of 12 cease to vibrate. Look to see me no more. But look for your own sake to remember what has passed between us.
Humbug, I won't believe it.
Whether from the emotions he had undergone, the fatigues of the day, his glimpse into an invisible world, his conversation with a ghost, or merely the lateness of the hour, much in need of repose, Ebenezer Scrooge fell asleep on the instant.
It was after 2 o'clock when I went to bed. 1 o'clock. The clock is wrong. Must have got an icicle in the works. Oh. I couldn't have slept all the way through another day and into the next night. It isn't possible. Some things happen to the sun, and this is 1 o'clock noon. No. Jacob Marley's ghost. Oh, it was a dream. Was it a dream or not? I think it's all a bunch of hooey. Oh! Oh! Are you the spirit that was foretold me?
I am.
Oh. How now? Who are you and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
Spirit of the light, can you not put your hand upon it?
What? Would you so put out with worldly hands the light I give?
Well, I don't mean to offend. So, Spirit, what business do you have with me?
Your welfare.
Oh, I would think it'd be more conducive to my welfare to get a good night's sleep.
Your reclamation, then. Take heed. Arise and walk with me.
But I am mortal and I'm liable to fall.
Bear with the touch of my arm and you will be upheld.
Well, I know this place. I was born here. I was a boy here.
Your lip is trembling. And what is that upon your cheek?
Wells, Masses, and Hathaway. Yo, Hathaway! Hathaway!
These are but shadows of things which once were. They've no recollection of us, though they do seem rather jovial.
Oh, jovial, yes. They're off on Christmas holiday. Manus! Merry Christmas, Manus! Merry... Oh.
The school is not quite deserted. I see a solitary child, neglected by his friends, left there still.
Yes, I know. Poor boy. My own forgotten self. Oh, look. I'm reading Ali Baba. Oh, dear old honest Ali Baba. Oh, when this boy was left alone in the school, the books became his friends. Valentine and his brother Orson, Robinson Crusoe. Oh, I remember them all so very well. I think that it's too late. It's much too late.
What is the matter?
Oh, nothing, Spirit. Only there was a young boy singing Christmas carols at my door this night. I should like to have given him something. That's all.
Let us look upon another Christmas.
Ebenezer, Ebenezer, my dear brother. I've come to bring you home, dear brother, to bring you home.
Home, little Fan?
Yes, home, for good and all, forever and ever. Father is so much kinder than he used to be, and home is like heaven. He spoke so gently to me one day night that I was not afraid to ask him once again if he might come home. And he said, yes, you should, and sent me in a coach to bring you. You are to become a man and go into business, and are never to come back here. But first, we're to be together all Christmas long and have the merriest time in the world.
You're a quite woman, little Fan.
Come, Ebenezer, we must get your trunk and your things. The coach is waiting. Come, Ebenezer, come.
She was always a delicate creature, one whom the slightest breath might have withered. Yet she had a large, giving heart.
Oh, 'tis true. It's true, Spirit. I'll not gainsay it.
She died, I believe, as a woman, and had children.
Yes, one child.
Yes, your nephew, Fred.
Yes.
Hello there, Ebenezer, Richard.
What? It's Fezziwiggle! Fezziwiggle alive again, bless my heart. And Richard Wilkins. Richard Wilkins and I were very close, you know. Dear Richard, poor Richard.
Yo-ho there, my boys. No more work tonight. It's Christmas Eve, Richard. Christmas, Ebenezer. Now, I'll put the shutters before you can say Bob's your uncle. Yo-ho, lads. Yo-ho, Richard. Cheer up, Ebenezer. It's food and fun for all. Richard, Ebenezer, I am most discouraged with you two. You did not have near enough fun this evening.
What, sir?
Tut-tut, not another word. But, to ensure you'll have sufficient fun tomorrow, you must take this.
Thank you, sir.
Now off with you two. Good night, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you, sir. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
What a night.
What a cold roast. The pies and the beer.
There's not a man in all London as good as old Fezziwig.
In all England.
I dare say the whole world bless old Fezziwig.
Fezziwig has given them but a few pounds of your mortal money, 3 or 4 perhaps. Is that so much to deserve this praise?
Oh, it's not that, Spirit. It is that he has the power to render us happy or unhappy, pleasure or toil. Why, say that his power lies in words and things so slight and insignificant as to be impossible to total them all up. What then? Why, the happiness he brings is great as if it cost a small fortune.
What is the matter?
Nothing particular.
Something, I think.
Oh, I should just like to say a word or two to my clerk, Bob Cratchit, just now. That's all.
My time grows short. Come.
It matters little, Ebenezer. Another idol has displaced me.
Belle, what idol has displaced you?
A golden one.
This is the even-handed dealings of the world. There is nothing on it so hard as poverty.
You fear the world too much. All your other hopes have merged in the hope of being beyond its reproach. I have seen your noble aspirations fall off one by one until the master passion gain engrosses you.
What then? Even when I have grown so much wiser, what then? I have not changed towards you. Am I?
Our contract is an old one. It was made when we were both poor and content to be so. You were changed. When it was made, you were another man.
I was a boy.
Your own feelings tell you that you were not what you are now. I am. That which promised happiness when we were one in heart is fraught with misery now that we are two. How often and keenly I've thought of it, I will not say. It is enough that I've thought of it and can release you.
Have I ever sought release?
In words, no, never.
In what then?
In a changed nature, in an altered spirit, another atmosphere of life, hope as its great end, anything that made my love of any worth of value in your sight. If our promise had never been between us, tell me, would you seek me out and try to win me now?
Think not.
I would gladly think otherwise if I could. Heavens knows. When I've learned a truth like this, I know how strong and irresistible it must be. But if you were free, today, tomorrow, yesterday, can even I believe you would choose a dowerless girl? You, who, with your very confidence with her, weigh everything by gain. Or, if choosing her, if for a moment you have fallen from your one guiding principle to do so, do I not know that you regret and repentance would surely follow? I do, and I release you with a full heart of the love of him you once were. You may have pain in this, a very, very brief time, but you will dismiss the recollection of it gladly as an unprofitable dream from which you luckily awoke. May you have happiness in the life you have chosen.
Belle?
Belle! 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 Go after her, you fool! Belle! Oh, Spirit, why did you lie in torturing me? Conduct me home. Show me no more.
One shadow more.
Oh, Spirit, I don't wish to see it. Oh, Belle.
And her family.
Oh, Spirit, such a graceful child, so full of promise. To think that she could have been my child. Springtime in the haggard winter of my life.
Oh, my darling.
Oh, my dear. Hello, Papa.
Go now. I'll take baby brother to bed.
Yes, Papa.
Belle, I saw an old friend of yours this afternoon.
Who was it?
Yes.
Guess? How can I? Mr. Scrooge?
Mr. Scrooge, it was. I passed his office window and it was not shut up. He had a candle inside. I could scarcely help but see him. He sits there, alone. Oh, quite alone in the world, I do believe.
All alone in the world, my dear old Ebenezer.
Spirit, Spirit, conduct me home. I cannot bear it. Show me no more, no more.
Ebenezer Scrooge, I come for your reclamation. Would you put out in worldly hands the light I give?
No more, no more, no more.
Come in and look upon me, man. I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look upon me. You have never seen the likes of me before?
Never.
Have you never gone forth with any of my other brothers, born in latter years?
Oh, you have many brothers?
More than 1,800.
A tremendous family to care for, certainly. Conduct me where you will, Spirit. I went forth last night upon compulsion. Learned the lesson that is working now. So lead me where you will.
Touch my robe.
Scrooge and the Spirit found themselves standing on a busy city street on Christmas morning. The skies were gloomy and the streets were choked with a dingy mist of soot, as if all the chimneys in all of Great Britain had by one consent caught fire. And yet there was a spirit of cheerfulness abroad. The people were jovial and full of glee and calling out to one another. The poulterers' shops were still open and the fruiterers were radiant in their glory. It was a glorious scene, to be sure. There was the merry sound of scales descending, and the scents of teas, and coffees, and sticks of cinnamon, and candied fruitcakes spotted with lumps of molten sugar. People were hurried, but yet hopeful in the promise of the coming day.
Spirit, is there a particular flavor you sprinkle from your talk?
There is. My own.
Say here, watch where you're going.
Why don't you watch where you're going, you long-nosed weasel?
Weasel, is it? Why, you floppy-eared baboon. Why,
There, Spirit!
Say, mate, what are you doing arguing on a glorious morning as this?
You're right, my friend. Tis a shame to quarrel on this of all days.
So it is, so it is.
God bless, my friend, God bless.
And you, Merry Christmas to you.
A Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
Oh, we mended that well, didn't we, Spirit?
We? Come, Scrooge. We have much to do and see.
Mother, we've been to the baker's. We've seen the goose. Yes, Mother, and such a wondrous goose basking in sage and onions.
All right, children, settle down. Now help me with this table. And wherever is your father and your brother Tiny Tim? Even Martha wasn't this late last Christmas by half an hour.
Yes, Mother. Oh, Martha, such a wondrous goose at the baker's. Oh, such a goose, you say. Merry Christmas, Ellen dear. Merry Christmas, Peter. Merry Christmas, Mother.
Merry Christmas. Why, how late you are.
We had a great deal of work to finish up last night. And this morning.
Never mind, as long as you've come. Here, have a seat by the fire and have a warm. Oh, Lord bless you.
Joy to the world.
No, there's Father coming. Hi, Martha. Hi. Yes, hi, Martha. Hello, Father. Hello, Father. Hello, Tim.
Hello, everyone. Why, where is our Martha?
Not coming.
Not coming. Not coming on Christmas Eve.
Oh, Father. Merry Christmas.
Hello, Martha. Merry Christmas to you.
Oh, wonderful. It's time to wash up. Martha, help Tim.
But I don't need help, Mother.
How was he in church today?
As good as gold and better. You know, he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much. He told me coming home he hoped all the people in the church saw him, saw that he was a cripple. And it would be pleasant for them on Christmas to remember who it was who made the blind men to see and the lame beggars to walk.
Peter, get the door. That'll be the baker with the goose.
Such a bustle ensued, you'd have thought that goose to be the rarest of all birds. There never was such a goose. Why, Bob Cratchit said there was never such a goose cooked. Its size, its flavor, its tenderness, its cheapness were all themes of universal admiration. Eked out by the applesauce and potatoes, it was a fine and sufficient meal for the entire family.
We are thankful for this Christmas day and its meaning. Let us be grateful for the food we are about to partake and for its nourishment. This we pray in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Man, their plates were filled and their bellies the same with what little food they had. And Mrs. Cratchit rose to go out and take up the Christmas pudding.
Suppose it should not be done enough. Suppose it should break in turning out.
Suppose someone had gone over the back wall and stolen it.
Oh, Mrs. Cratchit returned, smiling proudly with that Christmas pudding like a speckled cannonball topped with a sprig of Christmas holly. And what a wonderful pudding! Everyone had something to say about it. But no one said, and no one thought that it was a small pudding for such a large family. But at last the dinner was done, and Bob Cratchit poured out the hot punch from the jug while chestnuts roasted noisily on the fire.
A toast. A Merry Christmas to us all. God bless us.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, Spirit, tell me, will Tiny Tim live?
I see a vacant seat in this poor chimney corner, and a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved. If these events remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
Oh no, Spirit, please tell me that he'll be spared.
If none of these events remain unaltered by the future, none of my kind shall find him here. What then? If he be like to die, you'd better do it, and decrease the surplus population. Man of man, you be in heart, forbear that wicked can, until you've discovered what the surplus is and where it is. We decide what man shall live, what man shall die. It may be in the sight of heaven that you are more worthless and less fit to live than millions, like this poor man's child.
Mr. Scrooge, I give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of our feast.
The founder of our feast, indeed. Why, I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon. I'd hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear, the children, 'tis Christmas Day.
It is Christmas, I am sure, to one which toasts the health of such an odious, stingy, cold, hot, unfeeling man such as he. Well, you know he is, Robert. You modern people know better.
My dear, please.
We'll toast to his health for your sake and the day's, not for his. Long life to him, Happy New Year, and a Merry Christmas. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
It was getting darker and snowing pretty heavily. Scrooge and the Spirit walked along the street. The brightness from the fires in parlors and kitchens and such rooms was truly brilliant. And if you judged by the number of people on the street hurrying about to friendly gatherings, well, you'd have thought there'd be no one at home to give them welcome when they arrived. Blessings on it, how that ghost exulted. Then, no word and no warning from the ghost, Scrooge found himself standing on a bleak, deserted moor with massive, huge stones thrown about as though it were the burial place of giants. They sped across the moor and headed out to sea. And to his horror, looking back, Scrooge could see the last of the land. Built upon a dismal reef of sunken rocks was a lighthouse, and the men who kept the light had built a fire. And standing round it, they joined hands and wished one another a Merry Christmas. And then off they sped again, over the black and heaving waves, farther and farther out to sea, until they lighted upon a ship. They stood beside the helmsman at the wheel, and they watched as every man on board hummed a Christmas tune, or spoke under his breath to a companion of bygone Christmas memories. And then laughter lighted up the night, and and in a flash, Scrooge was spirited away by laughter to another place, to the home of his nephew Fred.
He said Christmas a humbug. As I live, he believed it too.
More shame to him, Fred.
Oh, he's a comical, though, that's the truth. Not so pleasant as he might be. However, his offenses carry their own punishments, and I have nothing to say against him.
I'm sure he's very rich, Fred. At least you always tell me so.
What of it, my dear? His wealth is of no use to him. He doesn't make himself comfortable with it. He doesn't any good with it. He certainly wouldn't have the satisfaction of thinking he'd benefit us with it.
Well, I have no patience for him.
Oh, I have. I couldn't be angry with him if I tried. Who suffers by his ill whims? Himself. He takes it to his head to dislike us, and won't come and dine with us. What's the consequence? Well, doesn't lose much of a dinner.
Indeed, I think he loses a very good dinner.
Yes.
What do you think, Topper?
I'm just a bachelor. I'm a wretched outcast. I've got no opinion on that matter.
Do go on, Fred. Do go on, Fred. He never finishes what he begins to say. He can be such a ridiculous fellow.
I was going to say that I think him taking a disliking to us and not coming and making merry with us is, well, he loses some pleasant moments that could do him no harm. I mean to give him the same chance every year, whether he likes it or not. He may rail at Christmas till he dies, but he can't help but thinking better of it. I defy him. He finds me going there year after year in good temperance, saying, Uncle Scrooge, how are you? Come dine with us. Well, if it puts him in vain to leave his poor clerk 50 pence, that's something. And I think I shook him yesterday.
The old goose.
Hey, speaking of goose, why don't we sing a song? How about Christmas is coming?
Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. Please put a penny in the old man's hat. If you haven't got a penny, a penny will do. If you haven't got a penny, then God bless you.
I do love that old tune.
That's a good one, yeah. And maybe a game, Fred. Why don't we play a game?
Come, Scrooge, we must go.
Oh, Spirit, they're going to play a game. A half hour more, just one.
Well, you all know the rules for yes and no.
No.
Well, I will go first. I have something in mind. Who will begin?
Okay. Is it a vegetable?
No.
Is it a mineral?
No.
Animals. Is it alive?
Yes.
Is it a nice animal?
Oh, no.
Does it live in a menagerie?
No.
But does it live in London?
Yes.
Is it killed at market?
No.
Is it a horse?
Nay.
But is it a horse?
No, it's...
Is it a cat?
No.
Is it a bear?
No, you're not even close.
I've got it, Fred. I know what it is. It's your Uncle Scrooge.
Yes, you guessed it.
Wait a minute. I object, Fred. When I said, is it a bear? You were obliged to answer yes.
Well, he's given us plenty of merriment, and it would be ungrateful not to drink to his health. Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge.
May he have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. He wouldn't take it from me, but may have it nonetheless. Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge.
Come, Scrooge, we must go.
Oh, Spirit, you're growing all gray and wrinkled. Are Spirit's lives so short?
My life upon this globe is very brief. It ends tonight.
Tonight?
Tonight at midnight. The time is near.
Oh, Spirit, I see something strange at the base of your robe.
Look, man, what do you see?
I see two children, a boy and a girl, wretched, frightful children. Oh, Spirit, are they yours?
They are man's. The boy is ignorance. The girl is want. Beware them both. But most of all, beware this boy. For on his brow I see written that which is doomed, unless this writing be erased. Deny it, slander them that tell the yea, and bide the end.
Have they no refuge, no recalls?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
No, Spirit, no!
The poor law and the treadmill are in full vigor.
Oh, no, Spirit, no! No, Spirit, not that! Am I in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come? You're about to show me shadows of things that have not yet happened but will happen in the future. Is that not so? Oh, ghost of the future, I fear you more than any spirit I've yet seen, but as I know your purpose is to do me good, and as I hope not to be the man that I was, I'm prepared to bear your company and do it with a grateful heart. Will you not speak to me? Lead on, spirit, lead on. The night is waning fast and the time is precious to me, I know. So lead on, please, lead on.
No, I don't know much about it either way.
I only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
Why, what was the matter with him? I thought he'd never die.
Heaven knows. What do you suppose he's done with his money? Left it to his company, perhaps. All I know is he hasn't left it to me.
It's bound to be a very cheap funeral. For the life of me, I can't think of anybody to go with it. Suppose we make up a party and volunteer. I don't mind going if lunch is provided, but I must be fed.
Well, I am most disinterested among you. After all, I never eat lunch. But I suppose I'll volunteer to go. Anybody else will?
Well, that's off then.
Spirit, I know these men, all of them, but I don't seem to see myself my usual place at the exchange.
I've run Mrs. Dubin here, and the undertaker's man, and well, we haven't all three met here without meaning it.
Yeah, you couldn't have picked a better place than me. We're all equal to our calling, eh?
Oh, yes, indeed. We are, yes. Well, what odds and ends then, Mrs. Dilbin? Everyone has a right to take care of themselves. He always did.
No man more so.
Yes, yes. Well, don't stand staring about as if you was afraid. We haven't come to pick holes in each other's coat pockets, have we?
Indeed not.
Well then, let's on with it. Who's the worse for the loss of a few things like these anyway? Not a dead man, I suppose.
No truer statement ever made. It's a testament to his soul, it is.
Right then, okay. Who's first?
I wish it were a little heavier.
Let's have a look. Not much of value. A pencil case, some sleeve buttons, a seal, brooch. All right. Here's your account, and not a penny more. Who's next?
That'd be me, Joe.
All right, let's have a look. We've got some towels, and some sheets, and some shirts.
And they's fine linen, they is.
Indeed they are, indeed they are.
And these.
Ooh. Silver
That's right.
teaspoons. And some silver sugar tongs. Very nice. Very nice. All right then. Always gives too much to the ladies. It's going to be the ruin of me, 'tis. There you are, love.
Hey,
What? On my word, and I'll repent of being so liberal, and I'll knock off half-crown, no go.
Here then, Joe, here's my bundle.
Well, let's have a look here. What's this?
Bed curtains.
Bed curtains? You mean to tell me you took these down, rings and all, with him lying there?
Yes, I did. And why not?
I dare say. You were made to make your fortune, and you'll surely do it indeed.
Yes. Oh, now mind them blankets.
Blankets? His blankets?
Well, yes. Who else? He's not likely to catch cold without them now, is he?
You don't think he died of anything catching, do you?
No, never you mind about such things. I wasn't so fond of him as I'd hang about just for the likes of this, if he had. Now, what's my account, Joe? Let's settle up.
It's a fine
account, my dear, fine account. There you are. There you are.
Oh, that's it then, isn't it? Yes. Oh, you frightened us all off while he was alive, only to profit from him now that he's dead. The old skin-flinty sucking old
Oh, Spirit, I see the case of this unhappy man could very well be that of my own, or my life tends that way now. Merciful heavens, is there no one in the town that feels emotions connected with this man's death? Show me that person, Spirit, I beseech you.
What's the news? Is it good or bad?
Very bad.
Are we quite ruined?
No, there's hope yet, Caroline.
If he relents, there is. Nothing is past hope if such a miracle has happened.
He's past relenting. He's dead.
Dead, you say? To whom will our dead be transferred?
I don't know, but before that time we shall be ready with the money. And even if we weren't ready with the money, it would be bad fortune to find so merciless a creditor. We may sleep with light hearts tonight. Come, let us check into the matter.
Oh, Spirit, show me some tenderness connected with death, with that dark passage that we just left will forever haunt me.
And he took the child and set him in the midst of them. Mother, what is it?
'Tis nothing, dear. It's this close work. It hurts my eyes. 'Tis better now. They grow weak by candlelight, and I won't show weak eyes to your father when he comes home from the world, which must be near his time.
Past it, rather. I think he's walked a little slower than he used to these last few evenings, Mother.
I've known him to walk with Tiny Tim very fast indeed.
And so have I. So have I.
But he was very light to carry, and your father loved him so. It was no trouble at all. Oh. There's your father at the door. My dear, you're late. Did you go there again?
Yes, my dear. I wish you could have gone. It would have done you good to see how clean a place it was. But you'll see it often. I promised Tim we would walk there on a Sunday. My little child. I'm sorry, my dear. I saw Mr. Scrooge's nephew today. He's such a pleasant gentleman. He could tell I was a little down and inquired about what distressed me, on which I told him. He said, "I'm heartily sorry for it, Mr. Cratchit." After that, he gave me his card. He said, "This is where I live. Pray come see me." Now, it wasn't for the sake of what he might be able to do for us, but for his kindly way. He is quite delightful. It's as though he'd known our Tiny Tim and felt with us.
I'm sure he has a good soul.
You'd be sure of it, my dear, if you saw and spoke with him. In fact, I shouldn't be at all surprised if he could find our Peter a better situation.
Do you hear that, Peter?
And then Peter will be keeping company with someone and setting up for himself.
Oh, get along with you, Ellen.
It's just as likely as not one of these days that however and whenever we part from one another, I'm sure we shall none of us ever forget our Tiny Tim, shall we?
Never, Father.
And I know, my dears, when we recollect how patient and how mild he was, though he was a little child, we shall not quarrel easily one with another and forget our Tiny Tim in doing it.
Never, Father. No, never, Father.
I'm so happy, so very happy.
Oh, Spirit, I feel our parting is at hand. I know it, but I know not how. Tell me about the dead man they talked about at old Joe's. Oh, Spirit, before I draw nearer that stone at which you point, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of things that will be? Are these the shadows of things that only may be? Men's courses foreshadow certain ends. If prosperity of those ends must be reached. But if those courses are altered, then the ends must change also. Say it as thus with what you show me. Say it. Oh! I am the man they talked about in old shows. Oh, no, Spirit, no. No, Spirit, I'm not the man that I was. I'm not the man that I would be, but for this intervention. Why show me this if I'm beyond all hope? Oh, good Spirit, your nature pities me and intercedes for me. I will change these shadows by an altered life. I will keep Christmas in my heart all the year. I'll live in the past and in the present and in the future. All three will strive within me. I will not shut out the lesson that they teach. Oh, please assure me that I may yet sponge away the writing of this awful snow. Oh, Spirit, do not desert me. Heaven and Christmas be praised for this. On my knees I say it, old Jacob. On my knees. Christmas be praised for this. I said on my knees, old Jacob, on my knees. Oh, look. Oh, they're not torn down. They are here. I am here. I don't know what to do. I'm light as a feather. I'm as happy as an angel. I'm merry as a schoolboy. I'm as giddy as a drunken man. Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year to the whole world. Oh, there's the door where the ghost of Jacob Morley entered. And this is where the ghost of Christmas past appeared. It's all true. It all happened. I don't know what day of the month it is. I don't know how long I was with the spirits. I don't know anything. I'm quite the baby. That's all right. I'd rather be a baby. Oh, no mist, no fog. Just clear, bright, jovial, stirring cold. Heavenly sky, golden sunlight, merry bells. Glorious, glorious. Oh, boy.
Sir?
What day is it?
Day is it?
Oh, what a marvelous young man. Yes, what day is it today?
Today? Why, it's Christmas Day.
Christmas Day? I haven't missed it after all. The spirits have done it all in one night. Oh, they can do anything. Of course they can. Oh, boy. Do you know that poulter shop down on the corner?
I should hope I do.
What an intelligent young lad. Joy to talk to him. Is the prize turkey still hanging there? Not the little prize turkey, but the really big one?
What? The one as big as me?
Yes.
It's hanging there now.
Would you go and buy it for me?
Oh, go on.
No, I'm in earnest. Go and buy it for me. Bring the man back here that I may tell him where to deliver it. Bring him back and I'll give you a shilling. Be back in less than 5 minutes. I'll give you half-crown. Look at him run. Oh, I shall send it to Bob Cratchit. They shan't know who sent it. Why, it's twice the size of Tiny Tim.
where is he, boy? Come all this way for nothing?
There he is.
Good day to you, my man. And how are you this day?
Good, sir, very good.
Why, look at that turkey. Why, that turkey never could have stood upon those legs. They'd have snapped them off an instant. Here's for the turkey, my good man.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Now, you'd never be able to carry that all the way to Camden Town. You need to hire a hansom cab. Here's for the cab. Here's the address where to deliver it. And as for you, my young man, did I say half a crown? No, for such an industrious young man, a full crown.
Cool, thank you, sir.
And Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you, too.
And Merry Christmas to you, my good man.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Good day to you, gentlemen. I hope you succeeded in your purpose yesterday.
Well, Mr. Scrooge.
Oh, that's my name. I don't suppose you find it very pleasant. May I beg your pardon? Also, I would like to contribute.
Lord, bless me.
My dear Mr. Scrooge, are you serious?
Oh, yes, and not a farthing less. There's a great deal of back payments included in it, I assure you. Now, will you do me the favor and come by my office tomorrow?
I don't know what to say to
Oh,
such
tut, tut. You don't need to say anything. Just please do me the favor, come by my office.
Then of course we will, sir.
Then
Yes,
God
sir.
bless you.
Thank you.
God bless you. And Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas. I think Scrooge has put a little something in his eggnog.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all. He became as good a friend, as good a master, as good a man as that good old city ever knew. Oh, some people laughed to see the alterations in him, but he let them laugh. His own heart laughed. That was quite enough for him. He made his way to the home of his nephew Fred, where he was received with surprise and affection. And all was forgiven, and a standing Christmas dinner date was made for years to come. In the afternoon, he pressed his way through the crowds, patting the heads of little children as he went towards the home of his employee, Bob Cratchit. He stood outside the window and peered in as the family gathered about the table, making ready to partake of that fine bird he'd sent. Smiling happily, he knocked upon the door. Mr. Scrooge.
I did not see you at the office this day, Bob Cratchit.
Well, I thought I was under the understanding that I had the day off.
You did?
It's only one day a year, sir. It shall not be repeated. I was making a little merry yesterday.
I shall not tolerate this sort of thing anymore. Therefore, I'm going to raise your salary,
I'm
Bob
truly
Cratchit.
sorry, sir. Are you quite well?
I've never been better, Bob Cratchit. I'm going to raise your salary, and then I'm going to help your family. We'll discuss your affairs as soon as you finish your dinner. And tomorrow, Bob Cratchit, I'll buy another coal scuttle before you can dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Yes, of course, Mr. Scrooge.
Please, won't you sit down?
Oh, yes, thank you.
May I take your hat, sir?
Yes, please, thank you. Merry Christmas to you and yours, Bob Cratchit. And especially Merry Christmas to you, Tiny Tim.
Merry Christmas to you, sir, and God bless us everyone.
you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.